the types of sources you have. Other places have other kinds of sources. Obviously, some sources are regional in nature. And so, for instance, like construction materials manufacturing, ready-mix plants, asphalt plants, that kind of thing, every community is going to have those because everybody drives on roads. And the vehicles, there are going to be in all of them, but I think that I don't think it's a strength in numbers kind of a thing. I think having control of your own airspace and what you feel is right to do is the best way to go.
Okay, so so we've established that there's overburdened communities, especially the filing of this petition. So basically, we're arguing over is, okay, how do we manage that, or how do we affect that? And I'm just wondering what kind of suggestions you would make in our policy making decisions here in order to accomplish that result. And I looked at your CEQA thing, and that sounds like that's a cottage industry right there. And I don't know if
you don't want to go there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know if that's appropriate.
Well, but I mention it simply because to kind of demonstrate the extent to which some people have gone to address these issues, and also to kind of highlight or underscore, the authority here is the Clean Air Act, and what can you do within that authority, which is quite different, and so. I think that to really solve the problem, you need a law. But to the extent that you can use the Clean Air Act to address the problem, I think you can do that. Well, you did the clean cars thing. I don't know all about that, but that sounds like a good step. And so I would say, source specific rules. What are the sources that are a problem in those communities? Make a rule.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You've been very informative.
Chair Paul.
I'm done.
Okay. I think it's three questions. Thank you, board. So I don't know if you know, the EHD got a grant and installed a mobile VOC monitoring trailer. Do you know anything about that trailer?
Just what you said today.
Could the data from that trailer be used? It has it speciates VOCs to some degree. Do you think the data from that trailer could be used to supplement VOC data in general?
Well, I think that to the extent you might then know background in certain locations, or, I think the problem is you only have one, right? Because if you could have a network of them, then you would be like, oh, it's higher over here than it is over there. But
right.
Because of the nature of meteorology and just the differences in today versus yesterday and which way the wind's blowing, I think it would provide some interesting data that might lead you to do whatever the next step is, which would be more informative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's mobile, so they're putting it places for a year, I think, maybe more. Let's see. You said in the California air districts that are often a board of mayors or elected officials, you said each district chooses the cancer risk de minimis level?
They do.
Okay.
And by the way, the Ventura County Air Pollution Control District, there's a link in my testimony. There's basically an 8 or 9 page memo or discussion that they went through on how they chose their thresholds. That might be informative.
Do you want to summarize that quickly?
Well, in summary, 1 in 4 people get cancer, And the number you choose is not really necessarily gonna be supported by anything. You have to go on your guts, I think is what that says.
Okay.
It's all kind of
Not
relative.
super helpful in a hearing, but I'll
Yeah.
take it.
I'd have to go back and read it. I'm not exactly sure,
Okay,
but
well-
they do discuss kind of the public, they discuss the different kinds of perceptions about risk, the imposed risk versus the accepted risk, and that sort of thing.
Okay. And then one last question about the study that you guys put together that was very helpful. Is the funding, what is the funding of each air district a function of? It's analyzed in per capita, but what is it? Where does that funding come from?
Permit fees, violations. Basically, in California, the air districts are self-funded.
Self-funded.
They get funded for what they spend.
So the permit fees and permit fees may be lower here, or violations may be lower here compared to
Probably.
other places.
I assume so.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your testimony.
Right, we'll be in recess for 45 minutes. Is that fine with the board? So we'll come back about 1:30. Thank you.